Hello BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Bookmarch. I'm getting back to my shout-outs today for this Bookish week. My Bookish week? Wow, I don't even remember the name of my own weekly series, but whatever. It's Friday afternoon, I'm totally frazzled. Okay, this is the intro to my Bookish week, and I am going to shout somebody out. Now, this is a friend of mine, a BookTube friend of mine, and honestly, I didn't even look to see how many subscribers he has, but I don't know. But he threatened me with bodily harm if I didn't shout him out, because he did an unhaul recently and sent me some books, and I'm afraid for my life. I really am. I'm kind of afraid I'm going to get hurt. I need to sleep with one eye open, and he'll never send me books again if I don't shout him out. None of that's true, but my friend John from this channel, John David, is my shout out for today, and he did an unhaul, a video unhaul in two videos, and I was able to grab some books from him. He was only asking for shipping, although I thought that was ludicrous. You know, he deserved more money than that just for going through the effort. But I'm going to quickly show you the books that he sent me. Now, John is, he's so smart. He is so articulate. He is frigging hilarious. We've been talking on Voxer, and the man is hilarious. He really is. And I've had a blast just talking. I'm laughing thinking of our conversations. But go and check him out. He's really into history, philosophy. He reads some academic stuff. He's into, he does have a novel here and there that he's showing us that he reads. And he had some great stuff to unhaul that we all got to take advantage of. So I got Pascal Boyer's religious. It's Friday afternoon. Bear with me. Religion Explained. The evolutionary origins of religious thought. It's theology. It's right up my alley. I got V by Thomas Pynchon, and I'm interested to read a Pynchon book after DNFing a DeLillo book. I got Colette, the complete Claudine. Is that right? Yeah, I think it is. A collection of Claudette. Claudette. I might need to refilm this whole video. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Colette, the complete Claudine. I got that. Here's a heavy one. Life, Death, and Meaning, Key Philosophical Readings on the Big Questions, edited by David Benatar. I got that. This is an essay collection. This one this is Talking Back by Bell Hooks. I'm a big Bell Hooks fan. Thinking Feminist, Thinking Black. That looks really good. And this is a novel, The Great Fire by Shirley Hazard. I got this. This is like, all of the books he sent me are in like pristine condition. So this was just such a jackpot. And I'll be honest with you, I've got a second shipment coming soon. I was able to wrangle some more books from him before he threatened me with bodily harm. Hey BookTube, it's me again. It's Kim at Middle of the Bookmarch, and this is my Bookish week for April 15th? I think it's April. Not only is it Friday afternoon, but it's like flipping 82 degrees here in the middle of April. And then it's supposed to go down back into the 50s over the weekend and for the remainder of next week, 50s, low 60s. What the hell is happening? I don't know. I'm all discombobulated. And you're asking yourselves, what else is new? I crack myself up sometimes. Okay. Let's see. I finished 2 books this week, and I do have one DNF, unfortunately. This DNF is a giveaway, and I am more than willing to send this to anybody who would like it. It's a brand new book, brand new to me. This is The Wind Whistling in the Cranes, a novel by Portuguese author Lydia Jorge, and this is translated from the Portuguese by Margaret Jewel Costa and Annie McDermott. This was a buddy read with my friend, a subscriber and commenter, George. And George is Portuguese, and he was going to kind of walk me through the cultural connections and any cultural differences and any questions I had while we were reading this novel. But I got to page 60 and I realized I didn't have a problem understanding it. I did, however, have a problem being interested. So this left me kind of cold. I couldn't connect with the book. I couldn't connect with the story. It was okay. There were parts that seemed funny, even in the first 60 pages, there were parts that seemed funny, but I kept asking myself, are those supposed to be funny? There's a mystery about a death of a grandmother outside of a former factory, which has been made into a residence, which she was the landlady of, which she gave to a different family. It wasn't hard to follow, but it was just weird, and I just had no interest in learning more about the story. Now, I would love to give this away, but I gotta tell you, I don't know what kind of paper they use, but this book is not too long, but it's really physically heavy. So if you're interested, it has just over 500 pages. So, but it doesn't look it because of the type of paper. This will give you a good paper cut, and it's just heavy bond paper. I don't know what that is. So if you would like this book, write me a comment down below, and as per usual, the first comment that pops up that wants this will get it. And then we can correspond privately with your address and everything. I might ask you to pay a couple bucks for shipping. That's about it. Now, what did I finish? I'm going to grab my laptop over here because I have some things on here electronically. And I want to make sure I do this right. That's why I'm looking down. Pay no attention to the lady behind the curtain. Why is my laptop so slow? I wanted to make sure the first book I wanted to tell you about, I want to make sure I get the title right because it's a long one. I read this one for Trans Girl April. And this is the life of Christine Jorgensen, the first transgender woman you never heard about. And this is people in LGBTQ history that you never knew about. I'm not sure about this one because I think Christine Jorgensen was pretty well known, fairly famous. She was a very early pioneer of transgender transition surgery, and she lived in the 40s and 50s, traveled to Denmark. Her family was Danish, I believe, traveled to Denmark and for reassignment surgery, and came home to New York in the U.S. In the body that she was born needing. She was a woman, and I will post a picture here of the book, but she was a gorgeous woman. She passed away in 1962. And within the book, she does talk about her changing image, and she talks about how she would walk down the street and receive cat-calls, and she remembers really enjoying that. And, you know, we don't all enjoy cat-calls, and yes, there was a day when I got some too. But, yeah, whatever. Okay, the author of this book is Jennifer Hopkins. And Jennifer Hopkins is described as being a member of the LGBTQ community. And what she did was she's written a series of books that are very short, very basic, but they're kind of introductions and primers to people in LGBTQ history, which I think is great. And the book was lovely, but it's a very basically written short book. I would love to look into an actual biography or an autobiography. I believe Jorgensen wrote her autobiography, and I would love to track that down. But it was a great start to learn more about her, and the writing was kind of listing things, you know, just her chronology. She talked about her family and her background and how she always felt about herself as a child and how she knew she was a woman, that she wanted to live that way. She wanted her physical appearance and her image to be as who she knew she was. And so that was a really good output of information, but mostly the book was a series of pieces of information. There wasn't a lot of nuance to it. There wasn't a lot of narrative description, which is fine. I did learn about Jorgensen, and I learned about her family, and I learned about her life. But this is the type of a short book that gets you to want to read more, gets you to go down rabbit holes. And so, yeah, it was good. It was a good place to start. The other book, oh, I loved this book. I haven't officially rated it. Well, by the time you read this or see this, it'll be rated on Goodreads, because I haven't talked to Georgia. George and I keep cutting myself off. I haven't talked to George yet because this was a buddy read. But by the time this is posted, I will have talked to him or sent him my message over Voxer. This is 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. And we gave up on the wind whistling through the cranes. The wind whistling in the cranes. Maybe I should decide to film my videos on a Saturday morning when I'm more rested. But this is 1,000 Ships by Natalie Haynes. And I loved this book. I didn't think it was perfect, but I loved it. And I have read a bunch of other retellings. I read Circe, which I really loved. I read Song of Achilles, which I loved even more. I read The Silence of the Girls. I did not love that, by Pat Barker. I loved this one. And this is the retelling of the Trojan War from the perspective of women. And this is the women all throughout Greek history and Roman history that just did not have a voice. Their stories really weren't important to ancient historians. And it's the retelling of the history of the gods in Greek mythology. I absolutely loved it. It went back and forth. So Haynes writes, she imagines the lives of a bunch of different women, including female gods or goddesses. And I just thought it was fascinating. I loved the voices. I loved how she imagined their lives. I loved how she imagined the conversations they had. She writes from the perspective of Helen of Troy, of Aphrodite, Athena, some of the male gods. There's little portions of, Artemis and Zeus and Apollo and all those guys. And she writes from the perspective of Agamemnon and Menelaus and Paris and Achilles. But it's the women's stories that she concentrates on. And she jumps back and forth in time. So she is describing an event. Each woman has a chapter, and she goes back and forth between the characters. And once you read a story in a chapter, you usually go to read a different perspective from a different woman. But she circles back in such an excellent way where she connects the events of one woman's story to the events of another woman's story. And it goes back and forth in time, but she's leading you to understanding how the stories connect. And 1,000 Ships refers to the 1,000 Greek ships that overtook the city of Troy. And I just loved the book. I loved it. I thought it was so fun. It was very well written. I actually ordered two other Natalie Haynes books, and looking forward to reading those. And I'm gonna get my hands on Stone Blind any day now. So yeah, that is it for what I finished. What am I currently reading? I am currently reading Middlemarch. I am about done with book 6, only 2 more to go. I am reading Cleopatra by Stacy Schiff. I haven't gotten too far into this one, but that's my book for the weekend. And I am also rereading Don't Call Us Dead by Danez Smith, who is a non-binary author. This collection of poetry is brilliant, and I gave it 5 stars when I first read it, and I just wanted to read it again. I read the first section of the book so far, and I am up to the point of Dear White America. And I urge you strongly to go on YouTube and look up Danez Smith's performance of Dear White America. It's brilliant. It is moving and heart-wrenching. And I'm strongly urging you, all of you, to go and watch the YouTube video of Danez Smith reading or performing Dear White America. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I don't know. Maybe I'm like trying to push you into watching it. Go do it. Just do it. I think that's it. That is it for me. Yep. What am I doing this weekend? I'm going to enjoy the colder weather. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing nothing. Last weekend was Easter weekend. I had a 3-day weekend, and I am still exhausted from it. I've had to use the week at work to recover from my weekend. That only happens a few times a year, and this weekend was a big busy one. It was super busy, and I've been exhausted all week. So yeah, this weekend is going to be fun. Just I have no plans. I may want to go out and spend money on books. I don't know yet. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point, but hey, that's what I do. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments below, let me know by writing me a comment. I could have phrased that in a smarter way. If you want this book, write a comment down below. The first one that responds will get it, and I will contact you privately. And that is it. Let me know if you have any other comments or questions, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.